Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Bay Area Let's Talk. Bay Area Let's Talk. And we are here to talk about the news that is going on through the Bay Area, as usual. And then we like to finish up with a little bit of history of rock and roll. But we are going to pretty much stick with the Bay Area today because today and tonight we are supposed to be hit by a huge storm. And there's some wild things that they're talking about. They're talking about up to 100-mile-an-hour winds in the Sierras today or tonight and overnight. For the next couple of days, they're supposed to have some really wild and outrageous weather. But here locally, Santa Cruz Mountains, we have got 5,000 residents that are being evacuated. And throughout the Bay Area, in certain places where we've had the fires over the last couple of years, and throughout Northern California, those areas are probably going to be evacuated also. Because the last thing we want is any homes coming down, any trees coming down, and for more people to be injured or killed. That's the last thing that we want. So, weathermen and women are taking this very seriously, and I hope that everyone else does that's living in those areas. Take it very, very seriously. Make sure that we do. That's really, the weather is mostly what I have heard all day long, actually since yesterday. Hey, we're going to get hit by a cold front. Then we are going to get hit by a rainstorm, which we haven't seen the likes of in quite a while. I walked out there this morning. It was freezing, 37 degrees when I first went outside this morning. So it was cold. Our hillside was white, just from frost. And in San Jose, we're not used to that so often. But it happens. There's no doubt that it happens. But not so often. And now here we're going to get hit with the rain. So I hope everyone is taking the precautions that they normally would. And especially in those areas where the fires have ravaged the small towns in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So please take advantage of the opportunity to get out and find shelter in a better place, because it could be pretty outrageous. I lived in the Santa Cruz Mountains in 1981 and 1982, and I was leaving in 82 when we had the huge rains back then, which several people were killed. And I just decided I needed to get out of there because the roads were collapsing, and I needed to be able to get to work every day. So I moved over to San Jose at that point. And that's where I've been ever since. Hey, I normally start out my show by reaching out and saying happy birthdays. Let's see what we have. We have 2 birthday shout outs to give. One is for Dan Fornshell. Dan Fornshell is a realtor here in the South Bay at Silicon Valley, Keller Williams Silicon Valley in Campbell. And he is not only a realtor, but he's also a real estate investor. So, Dan, happy birthday to you. And then Linda Peebles-Pliages. Linda Peebles-Pliages, happy birthday to you. And she is also a real estate investor. As a matter of fact, she's got a magazine, 411, that's all about real estate investing. And she holds seminars and now webinars that they've had to start doing because of the pandemic. And she does one heck of a job. I've been watching her for years. So, Dan and Linda, happy birthday to you. And if it's your birthday out there and I missed it, well, it's because we're either not friends on Facebook or you're shy about having your birthday shouted out. So, if it is your birthday out there, happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best. And happy birthday, especially to Dan and Linda. Have an awesome afternoon and a wonderful evening. Enjoy. It is your day. All right, let's take a quick look up here. Scott Ricard, good afternoon. Hey, Everything is good here. We're just waiting for our rains to come in. And I am ready to take a nap. As soon as this is over, I think I'm going to crash for a little while. But otherwise, everything is well. And I hope all is well in Florida with you and your family. I hope everything is great. Mark Rodriguez, how you doing, man? Thank you for stopping in. And I just wanted to, yeah, we're going to be safe. We're going to be safe. I think we're okay here. If my hill comes down, then that's a different story, but we're hoping that it doesn't. But we are prepared for the rains. We've done our work that we needed to do, had our roofs replaced, and I think we're in good shape. Unfortunately for us, we are not living in the Santa Cruz Mountains. We are living in the city, in the small city compared to New York City. All right. So today we were going to talk about number one, what's happening with the pandemic and what's going on with rentals and landlords and what's happening with them right now, because we're in a lot of trouble there. Oh, let's see. Let me pull down here a little bit. And I forgot to mention, and I need to mention, we are using StreamYard to go live on. And I want to just touch base. Number one, Grow Live Academy. GrowLiveAcademy.com. That is Ken Wall's company. And Ken Walls has put together a very, very unique community with a lot of great people in it. One of them being Mark Rodriguez, and Ken Walls has just created a terrific program, a very worthwhile program. If you are interested in doing any live streaming, working in social media, it would be a terrific program to take care of and be a part of. And then there's StreamYard.com, which is the platform we are broadcasting on. StreamYard.com. I'd also like to mention that if you would like to have your name and photo come out if you make a comment, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give them permission to use your likeness. And one last thing I want to mention is Hippo Video. Hippo Video is what I am using currently and shall remain using to contact my clients and be in contact with everyone around here that I touch base with. It makes an excellent system. You send a video out to your clients. It's in an email. It is not an attachment. It's just a video with inside your email. So they don't have to download anything. All they have to do is click on the video and it is there. HippoVideo.com. Okay. And again, I am Charles Coachman. You can reach me by text at 408-439-0766 or go to Bay Area Let's Talk at gmail.com. That is Bay Area Let's Talk at gmail.com. And I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have. And Scott is saying hi to Mark, and that's one of the great things about the community that we are a part of. Hey, so we are talking about South Bay. We're talking about the South Bay, but this is something that's going on throughout California, actually throughout a good portion of the nation, where unemployment is high. In Santa Clara County alone, we have 37,000 households that are behind on their rents. 37 households that are behind on their rents. What does that mean? That just means they're unemployed or underemployed, and they do not have enough money to make their rent payments. There's even more that are unable to make their house payments. And now they're dealing with their mortgage companies to try and work that out. Lawmakers are going to be meeting in Sacramento within the next couple of days to discuss how to handle this for the future, because we have been allowing renters to skip their payments, and I believe it runs out on January 31st. It may have been extended to end of February, but now we're trying to get that extended once again. It looks like it has been extended to February 28th, and they are trying to get people to pay to get everything caught up by August 31st. Well, let's see how that's going to work out. We're looking for some rent relief from Congress also. So there is a big deal going on. A big deal going on. How are we going to pay our rents and pay our mortgages? For those that have been unemployed, forced out of employment by our government, and it's putting us in a financial bind. Well, yesterday we got a little bit of relief by some places being able to open up. Not every place has been able to open up, but some places have been able to. So we have to keep working on that. So San Jose is actually taking some steps right now. San Jose is meeting on their own. San Jose, and I'm taking a look at a article by Carly Whip. And San Jose looks to protect renters by extending the local eviction ban. We are going to have an epidemic of evictions unless this happens. We have got vulnerable tenants throughout the South Bay, throughout the Bay Area. There are a lot of people that have been put out of work. And we have to face that. San Jose is trying to get moving on this. They're trying to get rents reduced down to 25% of what they owe. But if people aren't bringing in any money except for the pandemic unemployment insurance, it's going to make it very, very tough to get this thing straightened out. It looks like throughout the country, there's millions of people that could be evicted if they don't keep the moratorium on. But we've got a double-sided problem. We got people that aren't making money, so they can't pay their rents. Then they have landlords who own the properties and can't pay their mortgages because they're not getting paid rents. So we have to watch, and we're going to find out more tonight what San Jose is going to do with that and if they've extended it. And then we're also going to have to find out what the state is going to do. What is the state going to do? And how are we going to cover this situation? It's been a crazy, crazy situation. And we need help and we need answers. Hey, one of the things that we're talking about nationally is that with all the executive orders that have been signed by President Biden, one that is going to have great effect, even though some people believe these border walls are useless. They don't stop anything. Construction is stopping today. It has been ordered to stop. Now there's going to be some cities that are going to go and fight. There will be some cities that will be suing the federal government to keep the building going and keep the construction going. And we'll have to see what happens with that. But as of right now, all construction was to have stopped today. So, how many businesses are going to lose the income they thought they would be having for the next few months? How many workers are going to be laid off there? So with these executive orders, we've lost tens of thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of future jobs, and all done with the stroke of a pen. All done with the stroke of a pen. I don't know how people feel about that, but it's happening. And we are seeing some things that are happening. We've already got at least one state that has sued Washington, D.C., and they have stopped the evictions or the executive order. They've stalled that for the time being. And evictions from the U.S. are going to continue for this time, it appears. And that has went to a federal court, and he has stalled everything. And we are going to see. You know, these are constitutional laws. They are laws that have been made by the Congress, and with an executive order, we've been able to stop them. And we're going to have to decide whether those executive orders are lawful or not. And that is something that's going to happen. We have got an awful lot of executive orders out there. Some perceived as good, some that are job killing, and some that are very harmful to the U.S., especially during a pandemic. A pandemic that has a lot of people losing their jobs. And we're going to bring in more people so we can have more unemployment. I don't know if that's going to work out. Hey, this is going to be a shorter show, so I am going to scoot right into our rock and roll segment. Our rock and roll segment. But I also wanted to remind people I am not going to be here tomorrow. We are not going to be broadcasting tomorrow because I'll be in class tomorrow for several hours and won't have a chance to prepare for anything. But we are going to be back on Thursday, and the announcement is for that is we are going to have Justin Benton on. And Justin Benton has a company called 101 CBD. 101 CBD, and it is a CBD oil company, and he has several different products. And I want to interview Justin, and we're going to talk about the products that he currently has, what's available, and why did he start this company. It's a very, very interesting story, and he is a very interesting man, and his family with the business that they were running. It is pretty remarkable. And living here in the Bay Area, we have had hemp on the markets for a long time. Of course, pot in California is legal, which they can pick up basically on a lot of corners throughout the state. But this is hemp, and this is the product before it becomes marijuana. It's a different product because of the THC levels. So this is a product. If it was for pot, I wouldn't be going for it, because I think there are some things that we got to be concerned about, especially with use by young kids. But for hemp, there's a lot of healing substances, and I am using it right now. I am a supporter of the fellows using hemp to help people with health problems and to improve your health. But today in rock, on this date in 1955, Eddie Van Halen was born. Eddie Van Halen, the lead guitarist and the namesake of the band Van Halen. Unfortunately, Eddie died late last year. But in this date in 1955, Eddie Van Halen was born. And man, could that fellow rock. Could that fellow play the guitar? He was something else. He was a wonderful musician. I remember getting to see him on their first world tour with Black Sabbath at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. And they were awesome. Just awesome. So Eddie Van Halen, happy birthday in heaven. On this date in 1961, Elvis Presley hit #1 in the UK with Are You Lonesome Tonight? His 6th UK #1 song. Are You Lonesome Tonight? Elvis Presley. 1963, the Rooftop Singers. Who's heard of the Rooftop Singers? A lot of us have. We may not know it. We may not know their name, but we know the name of the song. Came in, it was #1 on the US charts and went to #10 in the UK. Their big song was Walk Right In. Walk Right In. Do you remember it? Can you hear the lyrics? Can you hear the song? Walk right in, sit right down. Walk right in, sit right down. I remembered as a kid, a young lad. How old was I? Let's see. That was 1963. I was a 4-year-old child. 4 years old. I can remember it though. On this date in 1965, the Beatles were recording Let It Be. During this session, though, they broke down and played a bunch of old rock and roll songs, and they made tracks of them, and I haven't heard them, but they played Blue Suede Shoes, Kansas City, You Really Got a Hold on Me, Tracks of My Tears. And on this date, this was the date that they discussed and started coming up with their plans to do the rooftop concert, which was just amazing. It was basically the last time that we ever got to see the Beatles perform as a group publicly. And here I was still a young boy, 10 years old, but it was on all the news channels. Here was the Beatles, and it was on the news everywhere because they were playing on the rooftops. They had the London police, the bobbies out there, keeping track of everything. People were going wild and loving it. They were just discussing it then, but we remember what it was like. On this date in 1970, John Lennon wrote and recorded Instant Karma, and it was produced by Phil Spector. Phil Spector, the Wall of Sound, passed away a couple weeks ago. Phil Spector had a sad ending to his life, his crazy bit of a life. He ended his years in prison while for shooting a person, for shooting an actress in his house and killing her. Well, we all know what happened to John Lennon. Basically 10 years later. So, Instant Karma was recorded on this date in 1970. On 1970, on this date, the #1 hit in the USA was I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. They were just a cute bunch of kids. Cute bunch of kids. I Want You Back. #1 on the charts. Ringo Starr on this date in 1974 had the #1 hit, #1 US single with the Johnny Burnett 1960 hit, You're 16. And that song also went to #3 in the UK. Ringo Starr in 1974. Love it. Another Beatle. And then on this date in 1984, Michael Jackson is hospitalized with a scalp burn. Hospitalized with scalp burns after sparks ignite his hair during a filming of a Pepsi commercial. Who could forget that? And the spin that he did to put the fire out. You know, it's nice to see that there were a couple of things that mentioned Michael Jackson in this, but especially what was good on this date was I Want You Back, Jackson 5. And then, of course, that music legend and controversial figure as he got older, passed away, I believe it was 2009. So, hey, Michael Jackson, rest in peace. I have some great memories of Michael Jackson and some sad memories as we think about the life that he went through. But just think about I Want You Back, ABC, all those fun songs back when most of us were listening to it and having little dance parties in our garages. Anyway, that is all for today as we wrap it up. I, again, will not be here tomorrow. We will be looking forward to having Justin Benton join us on Thursday afternoon. It will be a fun interview. It will be a fun conversation because I'm just going to let Justin talk. Just going to let Justin talk and tell us about his business because it's a great business and he is doing an awesome job. So I want to thank you for being here. If you'd like to share this out, we'd love that. If you'd like to tune in on Thursday, we'd like that even more. But I want to just thank you for being here today. If you are listening on a replay, you can find us on Charles Coachman on Facebook, Bay Area Let's Talk on Facebook, and then also Charles Coachman on YouTube. But if you're watching on replay, we would sure like you to just go ahead and send us a message and let us know that you liked it. And I would like everyone to go back to yesterday's show and just watch the first 30 seconds as I messed up the beginning. As I went live before I was ready and I was just kind of caught off guard. But it's my beginning to a blooper reel, as I was just stunned. So if you'll go back and watch the first 30 seconds of yesterday's show, you might get a kick out of it. I just turned it on and just laughed at myself. So have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday. Take a quick look. Scott Ricard, you have a great evening. And please come back and join us when we interview Justin. It will be terrific. And then we will be there tomorrow. We will be there tomorrow morning to do our Bible study. And if you can join us for that, that'd be awesome. And bloopers happen. Bloopers do happen. And this was real. For me, I just kind of looked at the screen, froze, and oh, Lord, here we go. But it happened, and I just cracked myself up. I may be the only one that finds it funny. But anyway, have a great evening. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. God bless.